Okay, so it's my privilege again to present to this full house of excited people. I think some of the issues, when I heard it, I thought I was in a union meeting again. So I'm glad I'm talking to graduates and to people who come into the sector. As indicated, I worked for eThekwini Municipality. I was the Deputy Head of Human Resources for 18 years of my life. And part of my portfolio was to run the payroll department. So I'm going to respond to that issue about payroll and why interns should be serving in payroll. I also worked at SASL in Johannesburg, where I headed up the recruitment, international and local recruitment division. So I've got both this private sector experience and local government extensive. I also lecture on the MBA program and undergrad programs at Mancosa. And I also now run my own company for the last 4 years, where we do a lot of HR work with many job creation projects in particular, learnerships, and we deal with a lot of the issues that you are presenting to this forum today. So I come here with a lot of experience of my past, but today I want to talk on a couple of elements. And at the end of my presentation, I'll deal with some of the issues that you raised as well. Today, I want to talk to leaders. I want to talk to people that are looking to become leaders. What are some of the key concepts? When we talk of professionalism and how do people become professionals, we need to understand that you need to understand that you're a leader. Whatever position that you are in is insignificant. So people look at leaders and they think you must be in charge of a lot of people, you must have a title, you must have all of these necessary positions before you can become a leader. But leadership starts with yourself. If you can't lead yourself, how do you expect others to follow you? Now, many leaders are leading, but they don't have people behind them. So as a leader, if nobody is following you, that is also a problem. Because there's something that you're not doing if people are not following you. So when you become a leader, you need to understand that there are some primary characteristics that you need to look at. And we're going to explore some of the characteristics today. Then I want to introduce you to a concept today. And this concept I wanted to present on some of your competencies, but I'm not going to even go there. So this picture depicts something. Who's holding your ladder? So in leadership, this is a question that you need to ask yourself from the day that you start up. Because if you don't understand that all of us are on a ladder, we're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to go up. Because ladders are normally taking you upwards, correct? So when you look at yourself and you look at the laddership, what did I say? The laddership, not the leadership. We need to understand that you're on a laddership. When you understand that you are on a laddership, you will understand some of the issues that you're presenting with today. Now, most of you think you are only meant to climb a ladder. And that's why you have so much of questions about what is happening to me, why am I not moving, why am I still standing, where am I? So these questions are present in all of us. Whether you are a senior person in age or whether you're a junior person in age, people are wondering, I was going somewhere, but where am I today? So I was in the first rung of a ladder. Then I went to the second one. Then I went to the third one. Then I became a director. Then I became a head. Then I became an MM. But we start at the position of asking the question, who's holding your ladder? Or whose ladder are you holding? Because that's where leadership starts. If you're not holding somebody's ladder, because that's where you are at the moment in life, you need to understand that you become a ladder holder first. Now let me use an example. When you are painting a house, okay, and your dad says to you, come hold the ladder. Why does your dad call you to come and hold the ladder? Because he's going to fall, correct? Any of you tried climbing a ladder with nobody holding it? Would you ever even attempt to go? You'd probably do it against a wall that is 1 meter high, correct? But if you had to paint a 3-meter high roof, and you don't have somebody holding your ladder, would you even go up the first 2 steps of that ladder? No. So what is the first step that you have to do? So I normally call my kids. And who do you call to hold your ladder? The kid that is a naughty one? Or the kid that is the good one? Why don't you call the kid that is a naughty one? Because during the time you're climbing the ladder, where is he gone? He's gone to play with his friends. Correct? So when you're choosing a ladder holder, it is so important that you need to look at the characteristics of that ladder holder. Because if you choose somebody that is a small little fellow, and you are a fat person climbing the ladder, is that person going to be able to hold you up? So when you choose people to hold your ladder, would you choose somebody that is weak, somebody that is small, or somebody that is strong? So what are the typical characteristics that you are looking for in a person that you want to hold your ladder? So my question is that you need to understand that those people that are holding, or you are holding their ladder for, are people that don't worry about whether you agree with them, whether you like them. But they want to know that you are the person that will be able to grip and hold that ladder so that they can start climbing. To do what? To paint the wall. Now, when we see people in corporates, many of your managers are painting walls, correct? What walls are they painting? They're making sure that the budgets are right. They're making sure that service delivery is happening. They're making sure that the municipality is able to deliver on all of their mandates. So who are they looking to have around them? Are they looking for people that are wimps? People that are complainers? People that are naughty and will run away from the job? People that are easily distracted? People that are worried about their own priorities? Because many of you that work in your jobs, you are distracted. You don't focus on the thing before you. You're focusing on your own personal agendas. You're focusing and you are looking after your own interests. And this is where employers and managers and leaders know that. They know who are the people that are there for them. So I'm going to teach you this morning on a couple of characteristics that are so crucial when you talk about the leadership scenario. What are leaders looking for? A leader looks for 5 qualities. He's looking for strong people. He's looking for people who can take instruction. These days, when you instruct people, you have to have a textbook next to you. Because people don't understand instruction. It's look like one person is talking English and the other person is talking Swahili. When you're in leadership and when you give instruction to somebody, the person must be able to grasp. Now, when I was younger, and this young man knew me when I was younger, I was very patient. I was very patient. You know why? Why do you think I was patient when I was young? Because I had a lot of days ahead of me. But as you get older, you realize that your days become shorter. Therefore, when you sit in leadership positions, you wonder why these older people act like they don't have time. It's true, they don't have time. So when you are younger, you have more time to tolerate. You have more time to explain. You have more time to sit down and say, no, let's have a 2-hour discussion. Let me explain what I need from you. But when you've got a budget that is due, we've got National Treasury that is on your doorstep coming to do an audit, you've got reports to produce. Can I call you and say, Joe, come and have a sit down with me, let's have a discussion. Close the door. You order coffee, tea, and we'll have a chat for 2 hours, and I'll tell you what I want from you. Or is the conversation is, Joe, this is what I need from you. So people need to understand. And this is where we call it situational leadership. If as an individual you cannot, now everybody thinks, because the boss is angry, he doesn't like me. The boss didn't greet me today. My manager didn't sit down with me. No, normally he comes here, he taps me on the back and he pats my head and he says, well done, Joe. Well done, Joe. So today he didn't do that. He must be angry with all of us. Come on. You need to understand that that manager has got some priorities. When he doesn't smile at you, it doesn't mean that he had a bad night. Or he's suffering with indigestion. It could be that he had a bad night. It could be that he had indigestion. But it doesn't, and this is my little boy at home I'm talking about now. So when he sees daddy angry, he thinks I'm angry at him. But what he does not realize is that I've got other priorities. I've got other things on my mind. And when daddy is in a rush to get something done, my focus is not on him. So it doesn't mean that I'm not happy with him. The same goes with handling instructions. Don't think that the world revolves around you. You do not dictate whether the sun rises or sets. You are part of a process. You ensure whether the sun and the heat I can tolerate. So sometimes I need you to go fetch a cup of tea. I will ask you, I will ask my mother-in-law. Does not mean that I'm making you small. So you must be able to handle instruction. Because one day when you're in my position, you will also tell your staff member to go make you tea. Does not make you small. It makes you a team player. You also need to take correction. This is where we find the biggest area of concern. There is a thing called constructive criticism, and there's a thing called criticism. If your bosses are criticizing you all the time, that I've got a problem with. But if they're giving you constructive criticism, means that they care about you. They want you to grow. They see some level of potential in you. If I didn't get corrective criticism, today I would not be standing here. But when my boss gave me criticism then, I wanted to murder him. But today when I stand and I listen and I look back, those guys that gave me corrective criticism, I phoned them, in fact, and I thanked them. Because if it wasn't for them, my reports, my work quality, my ability to progress would never have happened. So don't think everybody that criticizes you or corrects you is your enemy. In fact, your friend that doesn't tell you that you're doing wrong is the one you must watch out for. Listen to sometimes the person that is telling you to help you. The second one is you need to be teachable. If you're not teachable, you've got no chance. Now this is where we see in the workplace, many of the graduates that come out think they know it all. You think you've arrived. And that's where it ends for you. Because if you walk into a learning experience, every day is a learning experience. Every day is a teachable experience. If you're not going in there with that attitude of wanting to learn, and you think you know it all. You know, sometimes when older people talk to me when I was growing up, my boss would call me and he'd give me these long stories. And I wonder what's wrong with this white man? What is his problem? Doesn't he have enough work to do? Doesn't he know I need to get on? But this manager would make me sit down and he would tell me stories. And every story that he told me had learnings. And thank God I sat and I listened. So sometimes when there's teachable moments, be curious. Want to learn. And let me tell you something, nothing in life happens for nothing. Everything you go through, you will need. So be teachable, be curious. Let me answer that question about the payroll now. If you want to be a really true good accountant, don't sit and do accounting. Because that is not where you will need your skills. You need to understand what your client needs. You need to know how your client's business works. Then you will be a true accountant. Because if you don't understand what the business is about, your accounting is a textbook. And it has no relevance and no value. Because if you don't know how a factory operates, how can you do cost accounting? If you don't know how they build roads, how can you go and put a budget for a road? You can't learn about the roads department, you can't learn about HR, payroll, by sitting in an accounting function. So teachable moments are available, but are you teachable? Attentive persons learn quickly. You know, they talk about ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Many times I wonder in the workplace, we've got lots of ADHDs. Because you tell them to concentrate on this, they go on to do that. If you don't have focus, you are distracted. Why can't you get the job done? Why does it take you 2-3 weeks to do something that can take you 2-3 hours to do? You're suffering with ADHD. You have an attention deficit disorder because you cannot focus. You are easily distractible. You need to be attentive as an accountant to detail. If you cannot watch the details, you will mess up. So you need to be attentive, firm. Now you wonder about people, managers only being firm. It's not they. It's you being firm in your own way. Sometimes you will accept documents. But if you're not firm with that manager or that staff or that employee that comes and gives you that document and tell him to take it and footsack, you will accept anything. And you know what we call you? Flip-flop. Because you have no backbone. Grow a backbone early in your life. If not, you will fall for everything. Learn to say no. If you're unable to say no, you're going to find it very hard going forward. Because if you're a yes person, it's very easy to say yes to everything. It's very hard to say no. But don't become a no doctor as well. We got lots of doctor no's in accounting. Can I have some money? No. Can we do this? No. Can we try this? No. So also in accounting functions, don't become doctor no's. You get it? But get to become people with backbones. People that will be able to discern which is good options, which is bad options. And why people need to go and do what they need to do. All right? Then the last one, faithful. Are you faithful people? This is talking about loyalty. Now these days, if you want to get loyal, you have to buy a dog. Because loyalty in the workplace does not exist. Today you work for somebody, tomorrow you're gone. Next week you're bad-mouthing the same person. You said, I'll never say that about you. I will, you know, Julius, what Julius said? I will die for you. Today is killing for you. You agree? So loyalty these days has a price tag. But loyalty should not be that way. Being loyalty to a person is about principle. It's about ensuring that you do the right thing. It's about being able to stand with somebody no matter what they're going through. And that's what ladder holders need. They need to be loyal. Because if the winds are strong and the ladder starts to shake, who is my life in the hands of? It's in the hands of somebody that's holding that ladder and making sure that I can climb and get higher. Now, one of the things that we find most difficult being a ladder holder is the fact that you lack patience. Because you see people climbing this ladder, but you are standing and holding that ladder for now 2 years. Some of you are holding for 20 years. You need to counsel, so please take my number and meet me after work. But many people need to understand that you have to have patience. Now, this is where many interns and many of the graduates have a problem. You are totally impatient. You want everything today. Remember, there's a word called tomorrow. If an egg that is laid does not wait the full term, what does it produce? A dead chicken. You need to understand that you need to incubate to full term before you can become an eagle. Because some of you think, soon as you arrived, immediately you become an accountant, a manager, a supervisor. But if you don't go through what you're going through now, this is called incubation. In incubation, you're allowed to make mistakes. You're surrounded with people who love you. You're surrounded with mentors. You're surrounded with people who will give you chances to fail. If you come out of that cocoon and you go out into the world is a nasty place. So that's when they say that you're in this program, you must appreciate the program. Because this program is an incubation period for you to make mistakes and to learn. So you need to understand where you are. If you don't know where you are, you're always going to hate the journey. Are we there yet? How long more? You need to become more patient. You need to realize where you are in this ladder journey. That at the moment you are people that are being trained to hold ladders. Now let me tell you some further truths. And this is where Emmanuel said this one. We hire people for what they know. We fire them for who they are. So many times when we do recruiting, we normally take people that have got all straight A's, done well in their studies, cum laudes. We take them on board because they have the knowledge component. But once we get them in the job, we fire them because of what they are. They're people that sit in a corner and they don't want to talk to others. They're people that want to only do what they like to do. They're people that will badmouth, bad talk everybody in the office. And this is where the personality, the soft skills component of leadership, of growth needs to be reviewed. You need to understand that you need to invest a lot of time in your personal growth. And this is something that you need to do continuously. You need to look in the mirror and say, who am I? And what am I? Am I a good person, first of all? Or am I a miserable person? You need to go and look at yourself and say, like we heard, am I the best person? Am I somebody that others can relate to? Then your professionalism, the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you act, it starts from there. Financially, am I able to manage my money now? That's why Old Mutual have a stand outside. Because if you can do your personal finances well, you will be able to manage other people's money well. Relational. How are my relationships? You know, some people, when they look around them, they don't have anybody around them. You ask the question, why? It must be a reason. People don't like to spend time with you because you are a miserable person. Or do you attract people with the bad character? So you need to understand that. And spirituality is something that you need to have. My journey in life, if I didn't have God in my life, I wouldn't stand here today. I would have been off the cliff long time ago. So, you need to have a compass in your life. You need to have strength that you can draw from, because you're going to face challenges. Anybody that didn't face a challenge, you're living in a false world. Because you're either in one, you're coming out of one, and there's one coming your way. Then educationally, if anybody thinks they don't have to keep on studying and attending these conferences and being continuously nourished, you will dry up. And your knowledge will become extinct. So, when we look at ladder holders again, we need to understand, even though I'm talking to those that are climbing the ladder, don't tramp on other people to get ahead. Because people that go up have to come down. Can I say that again? People that go up must come down. I was the head of HR, fancy job, fancy people. All these people were running around me all the time, doing what I needed. When I left there, if I didn't have the character and the good relationships that I had going up, how do you think people would have treated me when I came down? So remember, when you treat people around you in the right way, people will always help you out. But if you've been nasty to people while you were climbing the ladder at all costs, you know what people think? I want this job at all costs. And during their pursuit of that, they damage people around them by gossiping, bad-mouthing, stabbing each other in the back, pushing, doing anything, lying, cheating, to get ahead. Remember, when you do that, you will be known for that. This line around resume builders. People like to put things on their CV. So they'll join this committee, they'll do that job, they'll get involved in the other thing. Why are they doing all of these things? Because it's nice on my CV. But don't be that, because if you do that just for that purpose, you'll get found out. There must be a genuineness. You know, they say the fake and the real look alike. Those that buy jeans. But after one wash, you will know the fake from the real. Now, many of you also in the same boat. And the last one I end with. I don't want unhappy people around me. Because the minute that you are an unhappy person, you will never, never be able to create the environment for others to succeed in. A happy home, a happy workplace means happy employees. So as a professional myself, I'm talking to professionals today, I want you to take what I've said today on board. The earlier you make some good decisions, the rest of the life that you will lead is about maintaining and managing those good decisions. So I thank you and I wish you well.